Welcome back to Our Morning View. I'm Ron.
I'm Shannon. In today's video, we're going to talk about an exit plan. Do you need one? What should you consider? Stick around.
I got my bags packed, timeline on track. My winter coat stuck in the closet way back.
If you've been following us for a while, you know that we moved into our RV. We downsized all of our belongings, moved into our RV about 6 months ago, and overall, I think it's a win.
It's a win. It's a definite positive experience.
Yeah. It's a good size for the two of us. It works well for us. The dog loves it. Toby loves being able to look out the window, see his friends, go for walks. He loves the drive days. Unfortunately, we haven't had any because it's winter time lately.
Right.
But it's a win. Yeah. It definitely is a smaller way of living and a different way of thinking and a different way of approaching situations. So there were some definite advantages to it. Over the last 6 months, we've noticed, we've had some things come up that we started thinking about, even back in the summer, thinking about what happens when we start RVing. We don't really have a plan to end.
No.
But we know we will end.
Right. People
don't do this forever, it seems.
No. But we were trying to figure out when we sell our sticks and bricks, what is our family gathering is going to be like.
Yeah.
We have a daughter that's over in Eastern Washington, and she has her own place there, but where does she stay when she comes to visit us over the holidays or spring break or just for a weekend?
Mm-hmm. We also were looking at what happens when we don't want to drive a big rig anymore.
Right.
That what happens when we do want to be, maybe our health or our situation changes and we need to be stationary, that we need a medical home. Or
our RV needs to be worked on, and I've got several upgrades that I have in the works right now, and the RV place needs it for a week. Where do we live?
Mm-hmm. There have just been a lot of things that we've been thinking about actually since the summer.
Before we moved out.
Even before we moved out. And when we were in the house, in the sticks and bricks, I was like, we'll figure that out later.
Right. Well, now it's later.
Now it's later.
We gotta figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
So we've kind of actually created an exit plan. We'll get to that in a little bit, but
we're going to talk about the things we considered.
Yeah, I mean,
let's start there.
Sure.
What was number one?
Well, what was number one, or what was number one that we looked at first?
Number one that we looked at first.
That would be the camping clubs in the area where you can stay. Depends on the club, but most of them are no more than 180 days a year, which would have been fine because we planned on being gone for more than 180 days. We're just going to come back here mainly in the summers. Mm-hmm. However, when we went and looked at them, they just didn't live up to our expectations.
And I think that's where you need to be honest with yourself and what it is you want out of the camping club. And so some of them were okay, but at the end of the day, in the Pacific Northwest, the amount of rain and maintenance, and when I say yard maintenance, I mean you need a chainsaw. We need to figure out, what do we do for the other 180 days if we're somewhere for 180 days? Well, that was a problem. It also didn't solve our family holiday issue. What did we do for family holidays if we're in a camping club for 6 months?
Right.
We tried the Airbnb thing.
We did the Airbnb for Thanksgiving, and it looked good on paper.
Yeah.
But it just
didn't play out.
It didn't play out the way we had hoped. So the next thing we looked at was
private lots.
I kind of looked in. I looked in Idaho. I looked in Washington State. I looked in California and Arizona, and there's a lot of good options out there. And we looked in Montana.
But those private lots were private lots within, like, a private camping club or resort where you actually were like a deeded owner.
Right.
And out of all the options we looked at, the number one choice was in Montana.
It was Shyrock.
And there were so many great things about Shyrock. And if you don't follow Sweet Travels, go look at their videos on Shyrock. And their videos don't even do Shyrock justice. Shyrock was
amazing.
Amazing. But the location's beautiful. It wasn't where we needed it to be. It also wouldn't work, like, if we needed to, like, hunker down in one location through the winter months. Wintering in Montana?
I don't think so.
Not in an RV.
So then
we looked at private lots, like undeveloped, unrestricted land where we could make it our own.
I just didn't.
It was too much maintenance.
Yeah, and it's really not cost effective either, unless you can find a lot that already has electricity, sewer, and water hooked up. Otherwise, you're going to spend a fortune.
I think Ron and I disagree on this, Dick, and then maybe build on it at a later date. But Ron couldn't see that vision.
No.
The next thing we looked at is the longer we were out of the housing market, the harder it was to get back in. We started looking outside the west side of Washington at different options and kind of climate.
Right.
We looked at how easy it was to travel in and out of places. Could family either easily travel to us or back home, like to where they lived, and how easy it was, central it was to us doing some RV travel.
Right.
We also looked at cost of living. We kind of settled on Arizona. Ron did a lot of research.
Did a lot of research, and we ended up settling. We bought a house. We bought a house in Sun City, Arizona. It's a retirement community over 55. It's a lot to do, and I think it'll fit our lifestyle real well.
I think long term it'll fit our lifestyle real well. And because of the cost of buying in there and the landscaping and the way the environment is there, it's pretty easy to lock up and leave and go on an extended trip. And then we have a place to come back to when we need to.
Right. It's basically a zero maintenance yard. Mm-hmm. And we can rent it out while we're gone.
That was one of the other things that we wanted to really think about, is having a piece of property that we could rent out. There are some stipulations, so we had to look at our HOA and CCNR and all of those kind of pieces of information that we could do it. It also was some place that we could see ourselves being long-term.
Yeah. And the kids can fly in and out of Phoenix relatively easy. Mm-hmm. We're about 40 minutes from the airport.
Or even other family members can fly in and out, because it's pretty easy to get to.
Yeah. And
all our family's up here, so we still can come up here.
Right. We bring more of them up. In
the better months, when it's too hot down there.
If you're just getting into this lifestyle or considering it, that's something you need to think about. Mm-hmm. So in future videos, we'll maybe a tour of the community, because it is a pretty awesome community. With that being said, let's kind of like draw this to an end. Like I asked before, do you have an exit plan? Have you been looking at exit plans? Have you even thought about exit plans? Drop us a line down below. We'd love to know. Mm-hmm. And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe,
comment, ring the notification bell,
and share with all your friends. And don't forget our Facebook page. Yep. Until next time, remember to slow down.
Enjoy the view.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
See you next week.
I got my bags packed, timeline on track. My winter coat stuck in the closet way